realized this shade I came right back on because you know what? I wanted to say, we all have a boiling point. We all have a breaking point. Not necessarily a breaking point, but a point that, you get to and that you're so tired of people just acting as if they don't know what's going on and just trying to treat you, unkindly, especially when you being nice. Or, you know what I'm saying? You just being a cordial person. You're just not you're trying to stay in your own lane. And when people get disturbed by that, I'm not sure why. What I'm doing is so important to your life. It shouldn't be. I'm not overly concerned about anybody else's life other than mine, my children's life. And that's because my children are minor children. When they get a certain age, I'm sure, I'm going to be always concerned about them. But I don't think I'm going to be to the point that if they don't do exactly what I want, I don't think I'm willing to break relationship or cut them out of a wheel because they're not doing exactly what I want them to do. You know what I'm saying? If you quiet, silent long enough, people will show you who they are. I can tell you that right now. Out of frustration, people will let you know. Be quiet long enough, and they're going to get so frustrated, and they're going to tell you exactly what they've been thinking most of this time passing by. So when somebody gets so frustrated and they tell you, hey, I didn't like you anyway. Hey, I'm going I'm going to leave you at the wheel. I'm going to do all of that. When somebody get that frustrated, that's been on their mind altogether, honey. They weren't going to put you in the wheel from the beginning. Please understand that. Please trust and believe. It takes a lot for a person to say that. And they one thing leaving you nothing anyway. So you really didn't lose nothing. You ain't lost nothing because you weren't going to have nothing in it. Not from them. You're going to have your own stuff in your own right. Nobody's sitting around here waiting for nobody to die. To get rich. Nobody that I know of. I put it like that. Nobody that I know of. That's why you go to work every day. So you can grind and get your own stuff. So for those people throwing out those kind of threats and stuff like that, nobody ain't worried about you leaving nothing. How about that? Nobody ain't worried about you leaving nothing. Don't leave nothing. And it ain't gonna stop no show. It's not gonna stop a show. My thing is to think about it like this. You ain't giving them nothing now while you here. So why would you you know what I'm saying? Now, it might affect somebody who is totally dependent upon you to do something. That might be something that's going to really, really, cut deep and hurt deep, And some people do be really hurt by people not leaving stuff in their will. But guess what? It's not yours anyway. So you shouldn't be too hurt by it. Yeah, the Bible tells you to leave an inheritance for your kids. But if you're not going to be obedient and you say, hey, I'm just going to leave it to some and not to all, well, then guess what? That's on you and that's your choice. And then you got to answer just like I answered for mine. You're going to have to answer for your sin. Or you be, not even necessarily sin, but answer for your disobedience. If you know the word, then guess what? You're obligated to implement the word. So it ain't like you didn't know. But to hold a will or something like that over somebody's head to say, hey, if you don't do this, X, Y, and Z, that's manipulation. Please sit back and think before you throw out those kind of threats. That's manipulation. Why can't people just be who they are and you just love them where they're at? Because at some point they had to love you where you were, right where you at. Because you ain't always been righteous and you ain't always been kind and you ain't always been, the person maybe that you feel like you've evolved into today. But just because you think you've evolved, guess what? Everybody got their opinion. They do. Everybody have an opinion. So you may think you're great. The next person who you dislike or mistreat may not think you're such a good person. I just want you to know that way, that goes both ways. That's not a one-way street. You don't get to get upset and threaten people with stuff that, if you ain't gonna do something, just don't do it. You ain't gotta make an announcement, just don't do it. You're not obligated to. You do what the Lord put on your heart to do. And if it's to leave somebody something, then leave. And if it's not, then don't do it. Either way, It don't stop no show. One monkey don't stop no show. So stop trying to manipulate people out in the streets with a wheel. Stop trying to manipulate each other, with, just cars and trucks and money and all that. Stop trying to manipulate people. People gonna either want to be in your life because they don't you want a genuine relationship, a loving relationship with other people. Not one to say, okay, I'm only here tell you, ooh, can't wait till something happen to her so I can get what she have. No, who wants that kind of relationship? Like, who wants that? And that's pretty much you're setting yourself up for when you start throwing out stuff like, oh, I ain't gonna put you in my wheel, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. You're setting yourself up with people who gonna use you and just tolerate you until you die. Please, you gotta think more of yourself than to do that. Please think more of yourself than that. Because if you reduce yourself down to, a relationship with you based off of things that's not gonna last anyway, then you don't think a lot of you. No, be around me because you want to be around me. Come check on me because you want to come check on me. Don't do anything because you think I'm gonna leave you something. That makes no sense to me. But y'all believe it or not, that stuff like that does happen. People around here are saying that, well, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you don't come respect me, you don't do that. People are out here in these streets saying this in real life, y'all. They saying this in real life. Don't want you to have a life because maybe they don't have one. I don't know. I ain't gonna say don't have a life. I'm pretty sure they do. But whatever the trigger is, making them say maybe it's your silence, your boundaries. Like I was talking about in the last video. If you put boundaries up to protect you and to make sure that you good, you, your person, you yourself, nobody don't know you like you. So if that's what's gonna be work for you and that's what's gonna save relationship, then put the boundaries up. You don't care about who nobody don't need to agree with your boundaries. They're yours. Nobody don't need to approve them. Excuse me. Oh no, I don't think I like this boundary. The boundary's there because of you. I had to make the boundary because of you. Stepping over my stuff, giving me your opinion when it ain't asked for. Just saying stuff over on people's kids like they're your kids. I mean, it's just act like you don't have no boundaries. So if you don't have no boundaries, guess what we have to establish them? And you don't have to be okay with the boundaries. You do not have to be okay with the boundary people set. And all you need to do is be able to accept them, respect them, and keep it moving. That's it. Because you want the same thing. If you were strong enough to put your own boundaries up, you want the same thing. So keep the same energy that you want. Give people the same energy. And stop acting like you all righteous. Righteous this and righteous that. Nobody's righteous. We all sin and come short of the glory of God. We do. So let's not act like we so holier than thou and that we haven't sinned and we don't do things, because we definitely do. Which is the reason why people put boundaries up. Because you keep acting like you don't care. And guess what? If you don't care, then you don't care. You can't care on sometimes and then all of a sudden you don't care some days and all of a sudden you care some other days. Make up your mind. If you care, you don't. And if you don't, then keep it moving. Keep it walking. Don't look back. Do what you're going to do. Treat people as kindly as you possibly can. Sometimes we got that spirit on us to, want us to act up. But fight the urge to do that. Try to love people. Even if you have to love them from afar, go ahead and do that. Whatever works for you. Nobody can tell you what works for you. That's about you stopping, self-reflecting, and figuring out, okay, what's gonna work for me that's gonna make me okay at the end of the day. That I'm not trying to harm anybody, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but I'm being true to who I am. I'm handling people with care, but I'm not gonna do it at the expense of losing me. That's what it is. And you don't want to do it. You don't want to. If you don't have to throw a relationship away, then don't throw it away. But sometimes people try to push you to that point, and when they do, you have to pray for those people. You got to put some distance between you. And then you also, between you and them, and then you have to turn around and pray for them. I don't know, y'all. Okay, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Y'all know I appreciate y'all. And again, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all, I just be coming on here when stuff happens or people ask me stuff happen in my own personal life. And I come on here and I'm going to speak about it. Because if it's happening to me or it's happening around me, then it got to be happening to you and or somebody else around you. So if it's not you, then go ahead and share this video and like this video so it can reach people who may need to hear this word. Okay, you guys. Love y'all.